Dear viewers, we have been joined in the studio by our first guest for this evening. He is the musician Mr. melbinphilipj, who will take us into the world of music and instruments. It's a pleasure to have you with us, Mr. Melbin.
Likewise, thank you.
To start off, tell me more about the instruments you can play.
Okay, so I play the instrument called the handpan, and I've got 3 handpans with me. And this is from, initially it was called the hang from Switzerland. It was made by a husband and wife called Felix and Sabrina.
Amazing.
They are the researchers and scientists into frequencies and music, and it started in the year 2000. All the way till 2010.
So it's pretty recent.
It is pretty recent, but then they stopped the making and manufacturing about this because they didn't wanted the whole world to know about it. And then this became eager to buy for all the other musicians, and they started preparing and making one for themselves.
So it became a really special piece, I would say.
Yes, it actually became a really special piece, and they started calling this a handpan.
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 It's the first time I honestly hear about this instrument. How did you get to know about it?
So in the year 2009, I was listening to music, and I hear this very soothing and very heart-touching kind of instrument. I go in Google and search for the instrument, and I see a name called hang. And when I look into it, I see a spaceship kind of instrument. I was like, whoa, what is this?
A very different looking shape. It's not your usual guitar or violin.
Drums,
Exactly.
And I was like, when I started listening about it, it started giving me different sounds and rhythms from each and every circle and tune. I was like, wow, I really need to get one of these.
That is amazing. And since it's a very rare instrument, where did you get to learn how to play it? Did you need to go to certain workshops, or did you just have to do all the research yourself?
So basically, I started learning by myself. Because it was really difficult for me to get this instrument, and I waited about 6 years to get it. And then once I got it, I started developing and learning by myself. I learned it by myself, nothing else.
That is so cool. Would you like to develop your talent more by going to workshops, or is there even workshops for the handpan?
Now, from the past 2-3 years, there are people who's actually giving classes for newcomers and beginners. But initially, I developed learning this when I went to Italy to study my course. I saw these handpan musicians out there, and then we started sharing music and knowledge, and we started sharing each other, and it was pretty good when they actually taught me a lot about music, and I was like, whoa, there's a lot into it to learn about this.
And that's such a mix of cultures, especially that you were in Italy, so definitely got to work with different nationalities.
And basically, and most of them are street buskers, and then I also sit down with them to busk, and it was pretty good also.
That is so cool. Okay, do you usually do live shows? Have you had space to perform here in Kuwait or even overseas?
Yeah, so my first show in Kuwait was with the Diwan Amiri people in Al Shahid Park. And then I've been performing for the Kuwait Yard exhibition for the past 3 years. There's an event company called 80% Experience the Adventure. And I've also played in Milan, Brussels, Qatar for one of the biggest musicians had come to Qatar, so I was opened for his session, and around the world.
So you've really been around the world, to be honest. I didn't expect that, because I know for artists it's a big deal to perform overseas and in Europe.
True.
How long have you been playing this instrument?
So it's been like 4 years for now. I've been into the stream and learning by myself.
That is amazing. Do you think you'd always want to do this or get into different instruments?
See, I've been wanting to learn a lot of instruments, and I never got an opportunity to learn. But then for some reason, this instrument connected really well. And then when I play, especially when I play to the crowd, I see a lot of curiosity, and they really want to know more and listen to it. So I think this was one of the most different one for me.
I think that's very inspiring. Every artist has something that inspires them or keeps them going. It could be traveling, it could be maybe looking at other artists. What inspires you personally?
So basically, this is one of the rarest instruments that I've ever seen in my life. Because like you said, there's guitar, violin, drums. And when I started listening about this, it actually changed everything in me in terms of feelings and expression and emotion and stuff like that. So this, and the music and the sound that it gives from this is totally different. So I pretty much got inspired by the sound and helping people out with this.
That is so cool. Obviously, we'll get to listen to you playing the handpan soon.
Sure.
But first of all, do you have any influences? Is there a certain person or musician that you look up to, or maybe want to take the same route of fame or success that person has?
Yeah, exactly. From the past 2 years, there's this one person that I'm actually following, and I really wanted to reach up to his mark. His name is Carlos Rodriguez. His music name is Cabezao.
Amazing.
And there is Malte, there is David Kukerman. These are the very few musicians, and there are many more, but very few inspirational ones that I really like to listen to and reach their goal level.
That is cool. So would you try to meet them and maybe do some lessons or workshops with them in the future?
I would love to, because we've been keeping in touch from quite some time, from the past 3-4 years, but then we never got an opportunity to meet. But one day when we meet, definitely there'll be a workshop or a show going on together. Like.
It's great to know that you guys are able to support each other, even with them not being here in Kuwait.
Because in Handpan, there is a community for this, and they take care of all the musicians like a family. No matter what, where, they always be there for them.
So it's a very positive environment, and that's something that music does tend to bring to people and societies.
True.
What do you need any support? Like, who supports you when it comes to your music? Was your family on board?
Yeah, actually, my dad and mom and my sisters out here, my brother-in-law. So initially, to get this instrument, it was really expensive.
Yes.
And it was really hard for me to get it.
Yeah.
And then I asked my folks, my parents, then later on, they helped me to get this because I really wanted it. And they knew that I was waiting 6 years for this instrument.
That is amazing.
And they supported me till this date.
So you haven't had any issues where they're like, get into more serious careers? You know, some parents have an issue understanding maybe music or just the art field in general.
True, you're right. Actually, in the beginning, they had a lot of issues because career is more important and education is more important. But then later on, when I told them, give me one try, let me just get this instrument.
Give me a chance.
Yeah, give me a chance. Let me just play out to the world.
Yeah.
And when I started playing it, and when I started getting a lot of shows and calls around the world, they were also impressed and they really wanted to look into it as well.
That is amazing. I wish you all the luck with your future success. Do you have anything specific planned in the field of music for the next coming years?
Yeah, I really want to fill up my house with a lot of handpans because every handpan has got a different scale. So I want to fill it up with a lot of different handpans and probably get into the electronic side, giving it different electronic sounds, natural sounds, like the water and the wind and the birds, and combining them together and then making some album out of it.
So this is new information for me. So basically, this instrument comes in different shapes, forms, and sizes. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, it does come in different sizes based on different makers. And this can be combined with any of the instruments.
Okay.
It can be combined with the electronic ones also, giving in different frequencies for the birds, for the wind, for the sound. So it's like it gives a good ambient music.
So it kind of imitates nature in a way too, which is very soothing and relaxing.
It is. It is also used for a meditative purpose also. And people do use it as a sound healing for this.
That is amazing. I do know that a lot of people go through a lot of issues to get that kind of healing, and even, as you said, sound healing, which is big in today's society and is really helpful for anxiety, I'm guessing, and depression.
Yeah, anxiety, stress, pressure, all of it. When they come and listen to some kind of soothing sound, they feel a lot better.
Yes, probably helps them to sleep even better.
Yeah, true.
Perfect. Now that we've talked a lot about this instrument, can we hear something?
Yeah, for sure.
was great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So this really big instrument comes out with the most soothing sounds.
Yeah,
it's the exact opposite of what you'd imagine after seeing it.
Definitely, and when it comes out, it is totally different also. For me also, every time I play, it's a different experience for me.
It's a different feeling.
Yeah, it is.
That is amazing to know. Is there any advice you would like to give to aspiring musicians or even people that have now got to know this instrument and how they can get it or even get to know it better?
Definitely, because I would say if there is some instrument or something that you really want to learn, follow it. Always get into it. Never stop or never give a halt, because when you give a halt, there's a stop into it. Just have a leap of faith and jump into it, and then just learn. No matter what, no matter how long it takes, just learn. Because the beauty of an instrument is like a healing to everybody, and people who hears it would have a different experience as well.
Of course, so never give up on your dreams. That's your basic advice.
Definitely, 100%.
That is great. It was great to have you with us.
Likewise.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Dear viewers, we had with us Mr. Melbin Philip John, and now we're going to cut to a report.